Hello, Pete Little here with good news from St. George's Church for October the 20th, Friday. Um, I'm going to look at the gospel assigned for today, the 20th, and spoiler alert for those of you who read the daily readings, I'm going to run over into some of the readings that are coming, and I hope I don't compromise anybody. But I feel I have to do this just to fill out what the gospel is saying today. Noni and I are sure enjoying the lovely weather. I got to play golf yesterday with one of my best friends, a person who insisted on being a friend of mine, even when I was someone you really perhaps didn't want to have as a friend. Anyway, to get on with today's reading from Matthew. We're going to read Matthew. This is the Gospel according to Matthew, 11th chapter, verses 1 through 6. And this is the Gospel reading. After Jesus had finished instructing his 12 disciples, he went on from there to teach and preach in the towns of Galilee. When John heard in prison what Jesus was doing, he sent his disciples to ask him, "Are you the one who was to come, or should we expect someone else?" Jesus replied, "Go back and report to John what you see and hear. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, those who have leprosy are cured, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and good news is preached to the poor. Blessed is the man who does not fall away on account of me." That's the end of the reading. That's the Gospel according to Matthew 1 to 6, 11, 1 to 6. But I need to read on. So, spoiler alert. Verse 7. As John's disciples were leaving, Jesus began to speak to the crowd about John. "What did you go out into the desert to see?" Remember John out in the desert. "A reed swayed by the wind? If not, what did you go out to see? A man dressed in fine clothes? No, those who wear fine clothes are in kings' palaces. Then what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is the one about whom it is written, 'I will send my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way before you.'" Verse 11. "I tell you the truth. Among those born of women there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. Yet he who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing, and forceful men lay hold of it. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. And if you're willing to accept it, he, that being John, he is the Elijah who was to come. He who has ears, let him hear." And this is the gospel according to Matthew. I believe Jesus is telling us forcefully that John is indeed prophesying his coming, and that John need not worry, that the Lord is here on earth. And you can't say it much clearer than that for me. As I say, a challenging reading. I'm sorry I had to go on, but it just wasn't complete enough for me to comment on without that. And I have a meditation for the day, and it is Our Lord and our God, be it done unto us according to thy will. Simple acceptance of God's will in whatever happens is the key to abundant living. We must continue to pray, not my will, but thy will be done. It may not turn out the way you want it to, but it will be the best way in the long run, because it is God's will, God's way. If you decide to accept whatever happens as God's will for yourself, whatever it may be, your burdens will be lighter. Try to see in all things some fulfillment of the divine intent. And my prayer for today will be, I pray that I may see the working out of God's will in my life. I pray that I may be content with whatever He wills for me. We do, Noni and I, hope that you find this well, and that you will find God's will for you in your life. Love and service. Sunday's going to be interesting with the parade of the ministries we all in St. George's try and bring to our church and to our city. Hope I'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time. God bless you all.